What is up, my brothers and sisters? It's your boy Juice. Couple of earthquakes here to talk about. Um, anywhere is possible in the Ring of Fire, but just in this area is a little bit strange and different. Um, but then again, I can't say that because I don't, know too much about this area. I mean, for all I know, there's a volcano there. You know what I mean? So, but it's a tad bit more northern than the average places that we usually see earthquakes happening here. And it appears there's a lot of energy. Hopefully, this is the end of that. But every earthquake that happens, there's the potential and the percentage of aftershocks. Maybe bigger, maybe smaller. You know, one can only hope. Um, Other than that, Texas has been missing a lot of earthquakes, and I've been feeling them on and off for a couple of past weeks. Now, it seems to be getting stronger though. So at one point, the vibrations were almost like listening to a fan. Because I always, say a fan. The fan, it makes that noise. It's just like, brrrr, right? That's kind of about the speed of the vibrations too. Because it's more of like a vibrational gyration more than it is a push and pull and a tug. And you know what I mean? Um, it's more like a hop. And it reminds me of one of those beds that, like, back in the day you were like, what are those beds for, right? You put 50 cents in it and the bed's like right. That's kind of what it's like. So, but every now and then for the past couple of days and weeks, I feel like a jerk or like a hop. So sometimes it's a sway and then other times it's like a hop. And it's still subtle, but it's so subtle that people still might not notice it, but for me, I feel like a vertigo, and I feel like my body just went up, or like it kind of swayed. Like you're in the ocean or something, right on a boat, or it's the only way I can explain it. Um, Other than that, you know, uh, everything's getting more intense, and we had a very hot summer this year, but if you really pay attention to the patterns and what we're looking at here, it would seem as though, like, as far as I know, as far as we go in Texas, we had a somewhat extreme heat. Like it was an extra hot summer, but it only lasted maybe 2.5 months. Because if you really pay attention to the weather, well, it's getting more rainier, more wet, and all that's getting more intense. But also, may I duly note for you and myself that the winters are getting longer and they're getting colder. Like here in Texas, like we didn't even really have much of a spring. We didn't really have much of a summer either, because if you want to get technical, as far as like hot, like it being summer in Texas, maybe 2 months tops. Now we're already transitioning to getting cold. It's starting to get cold now. So, as far as the winters go, like there's no such thing as global warming. I can tell you that much. And all you got to do is just like observe, look at the data. I'm talking true actual data. Like what you're feeling and what you're looking at may not be the same, right? Because they might tell you it's 115 and it's really only 100, right? So, they might tell you tomorrow there's no rain, and then you go outside and then it's raining like hell. So one has to go outside and observe the sky and how you feel, and really put it to the data that you're looking at, because, a lot of everything in this world may not be as true or as real as people say it is, or take people's word for it, or, a lot of things in your life that pertain to you, you should definitely research on your own. Don't just take like one person's answer. Like you do as much research as you can, right? How you feel, what you're experiencing, right? Like, because, like I said, I don't watch the weather anymore. Like, I just look outside and then I look at the radar and then, like, I observe it, and it's just a hobby of mine to begin with. And then for two, because I like the weather. And then for two, you know, I mean, if you're gonna go do an outdoor activity, you should probably pay, or like go on a vacation. You should probably pay attention to that anyways, because I don't know how many times like people don't even like think about it, right? They don't even care about the weather, right? And then they end up getting like stones of ice rained on them, right? There's like a tornado, and then or they like turn around from their vacation, right? Oh, there was a hurricane coming, right? And it's like, yeah, you guys should probably, look that up because it does matter, and like you want a good like field trip or whatever you want, and well, that's just not going to be realistic if you don't, you know, put a little effort in for yourself. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.